Hi and welcome back. We are going to look today at the pull up on the right manoeuvre. So what looks good, what looks bad, and how to what it's made out of, and how and when you'll be asked to do it. I'll try and give you examples from inside and outside the car of what good and what bad looks like. I'm not going to be able to show all of the bad stuff because I'm not going to do something that could be potentially dangerous. It's just to show you guys what it could be. So I'll talk through that. Okay, so pull up on the right manoeuvre. It's probably, I'd say, should be the one that you should be least worried about. You should, by the time you go for your test and you're getting to do manoeuvring, you should be quite comfortable with pulling up on the left of the road next to the curb. And essentially the manoeuvre is just to do the same on the other side, just with some extra steps as well. So the whole manoeuvre itself, you're going to drive along. Whilst you're driving, the examiner will ask you to do this one. So whilst you're driving, they'll ask you to pull up on the right. Something along the lines of, okay, I'd like you to pull up on the right for me now, or find a safe space to pull up on the right for me. And so you're going to do exactly the same things as you would do for pull up on the left. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to identify your space. So you need to find somewhere safe, somewhere legal, and somewhere convenient to pull up. So nice and safe for you and everyone around you. Legal, so avoiding your double yellow lines, your keep clears and all of that sort of stuff. Bus stops, which is one that can quite easily catch people out when it's just a bus stop pole. Avoiding all of those areas. And somewhere convenient, so don't pull up across somebody's driveway, don't inconvenience someone, don't pull up opposite the end of a road, making it difficult for people to turn in and out of the road. So once you've selected your space, that's the first thing you've got to do. You're then going to think, right, I need to get across there safely. Hopefully you know how to do that, so you're going to be checking your mirrors to the right, so interior mirror, right mirror, and sticking an indicator on. I would indicate on this manoeuvre because you're crossing the lane. I'd indicate the whole time, where you don't always have to when you pull up left if there's no one around. So mirrors, indicator. If it's clear in front of you and you can go, you're going to go straight across, keep your momentum and pull up next to the curb. Don't try and leave it too late to pull over because you'll make it really difficult for yourself. So a nice gentle move across. You'll stop and you want to finish reasonably close to the curb. Allow yourself room to manoeuvre if the road's not dead straight or you've not pulled up dead straight. You need to be able to turn your wheels without them hitting the curb. So anywhere sort of that to that, so 6 inches to a foot is generally okay. Even more can be dependent on the width of the road. The narrower the road, the closer you're going to need to be, so you're not blocking the entire road. The wider the road, you might get a little bit more leeway. So you've done that, you stop nice and steady, handbrake neutral. So the next thing the examiner is going to ask you to do is to reverse for 2 car lengths. So keep it nice and simple. Clutch down into reverse. Observations. So the difference here is, so when you pull away from the left hand side of the road, you would start your observations from the left. So either left blind spot or left mirror first, dependent on the area. If you've got like a whole row of trees next to you and bushes, you're not going to need to check your blind spot because there's not going to be anything coming at you there. But normal road, where there could be something that could affect you there. Blind spot from the left and you'd come all the way around, blind spot to the roadside. This time you need to switch it. We always go blind spot from the pavement round to the road. So pavement side blind spot over your right shoulder, all the way around, checking your right blind spot over your left blind spot. So your roadside blind spot last. And then if all is clear, you're then going to start to reverse. Nice and gently, just using the clutch should be usually enough. Nice and slowly, walking pace to get the car to go back. And we're going to go back for 2 car lengths. And then what you want to do is reverse backwards in a straight line, keeping up your observation. So all around, all around, all around, all the time. Keep checking, keep checking, keep checking. Back for 2 car lengths. And all you need to be able to do is then, if you were stopped next to a lamppost at the side of the road, that you can then fit 2 cars between you and the lamppost. That's the best way to judge it. That's the way I find easiest for most people to judge it. And then stop. If you've not gone far enough, the examiner will say, okay, we need you to go back a little bit further for me. Because remember, they're not judging your ability to be able to measure 2 car lengths. They're judging your ability to be able to reverse safely and manoeuvre the car safely. If you've not gone far enough, they'll ask you to go further. If you've gone too far, they may all say, okay, that's enough, that's fine, thank you, and they'll ask you to stop. They're not going to let you, they generally aren't going to let you drive on for like 7 or 8 car lengths just because you've not decided to stop. because you've misjudged the length. You stop once you've done your 2, and then the next instruction will be like you to drive on when you're ready. So come out of reverse, handbrake on again maybe, and remember they've said drive on when you're ready, so get yourself ready. Into first gear. Remember, you're going to hit the reset button, so into first gear, good check all around, so from the pavement back round to the road, so right blind spot round to left blind spot, catching all your mirrors in between. If it's clear, indicate left, drive back off and get back to your own side of the road, get back to the normal side of the road, nice and promptly. If there's somebody coming, then obviously wait till the road is clear, make sure you've checked both ways. If you have to pause, make sure you check all around again, and on you go. And then that's it, manoeuvre over. Whilst manoeuvring, when you're in that reversing phase, if anybody comes towards you, so any vehicles are looking to pass you from either direction, you're going to want to pause. So pause, stop the car, wait till it's clear again, good check all around before you go, and drive on again. And then you can stop again at those 2 car lengths. It can take a long time. If the road's very busy, it might take you quite a long time. If the road's really quiet, like the road I'm on now, it's not going to take you any time at all to get done. But it can take a long time if the road is very busy. Just to talk about the things that can go wrong with it. So to go wrong with this manoeuvre, distance from the curb can be wrong. So if you approach the curb and you bump the curb, go up the curb and on the pavement and come back down, you're going to fail. Rub the curb because you got a little bit close, probably just going to take a driver fault. It's all dependent on how severe what you've done is. Distance from the curb, you could be too far away. Again, so too far away and you're sat in the middle of your lane, not good. Too far away, or further than that you'd like to be, isn't a massive issue. You can adjust that as you come backwards. You can steer a little bit and adjust that as you come backwards. And then the other ones are pulling across in front of somebody when there's not the space for you to get across, so always wait and go behind the car. If there's something coming towards you, wait for a decent sized gap. And then the other one would be just failing to take the space when it's available, and hesitating and going, oh well, there's something coming, so I'm going to wait and I'm going to drive further down the road. That could be your other issue there. You could wait and delay, and then all of a sudden you've driven past the opportunity. If it was your house, you'd go and park there. You'd wait and park there. So that's the same sort of thing. We wouldn't go further down the road. You'd pull across and park. It's very easy in that situation to keep getting closer and closer and closer to the space where you want to pull up in. So if you want to pull up here and then you get your car closer and closer and closer, it becomes really hard to get across. So you want to come away and come over nice and gently. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll get on and we'll get some demonstrations done, and I'll show you what a good one is. Okay, so we're driving down the road, we're on a driving test, and then your examiner says, okay, I'd like you to find somewhere to pull up on the right. So I've identified somewhere in front of me I'm going to pull up. I'm going to check my mirrors, I'm going to indicate to pull over, I'm going to slow the car down a little bit, keep the car nice and slow and clutch down. Now controlling the car with the brake here, get myself nice and close to the curb, keep the car rolling so you can get a really good position, and then stop when you're happy, handbrake, neutral and handbrake, relax your feet, cancel your indicator. So I'm in a really nice position now. I'm really tight to the curb, but not tight, so tight that I couldn't make an adjustment if I needed to. So the second part now would be that you would be asked to reverse for 2 car lengths. So my car's going to stop start, so clutch down to restart it, into reverse, hand on the handbrake, have a good check all around, not like there's anybody around near me, so I can start reversing just using that clutch around the bike point. Nice bit of clutch control, and my right hand door mirror here is showing me how close I am to the curb. I've got a camera as well which is going to help me. I can keep checking, and it's just little movements for adjustments, so do your little movement, let it take effect over a period of time, unless you need to do a big sudden movement. So I've got some cars coming towards me, so I'm going to pause for a second here, so let this BMW come past. Then there's a motorbike coming, and what I'm going to do here, so as the motorbike's coming past me now, I'm doing my checks, shoulder check as the motorbike comes past, so I can go as soon as I'm ready to go. I can take advantage of that gap as soon as possible. So we'll say that's about 2 car lengths. You get the picture. I've stopped, handbrake and neutral, examiner's happy, says right, I'd like you to drive on when you're ready. So same thing again. So I'm going to get the car ready first. There's no point doing your checks first like I went to do there. So we get the car into gear and get a bite point, Good check all around. You see the blue car coming, so I'm going to just time my check so they go past, indicator goes on, and I can drive off and double check one more time. It's important there you don't wait for that car to come past you before you start your checks. Time them so you're doing your last blind spot check as the car goes past and the gap appears. Then you can just drive on. I would say overall for every manoeuvre that your manoeuvre itself, if you get it wrong, your positioning wrong slightly, so you're slightly too far away from the curb, or you've come up to the curb and you've stopped and you're too tight to the curb, you can adjust that. You can have a go at that. You can even pull forward a bit. So if you've pulled up and you think, oh, I'm a little bit too far away from the curb, if it's still safe and you've checked, pull forward a little bit more if you've got the space and get yourself closer. If you've pulled up and you're too tight, as you reverse back, or you could drive forward a little bit and you could move yourself away from the curb a little bit, you can do that. You take a fault for it, but you wouldn't necessarily fail for it as long as you've done it safely. Observations are the most important thing on your manoeuvres. By far outweighs the positioning. But with the manoeuvre, you can have another go with your positioning. You can't have another go with your observation. And that just about sums that one up. So I hope you found it interesting and informative. Obviously, play it back as many times as you need to get those important points out. Yeah, and I hope it helps, and we'll see you again soon with another manoeuvre